I had yesterday a meeting, which is I think what most people would describe as quite stressful, or a kind of occasion on which most people would describe as stressful. And I used a couple of techniques, psychological coping mechanisms. And one of them is from Zen Buddhism, or just Zen. And the other is an acting technique. And there were two portions to the event, which I think is quite normal with stressful events. And the first part of the event was the anticipation of the event. So in this case, I walked to the meeting. So the first part of the event would be the walk and the anticipation on the walk to meet a stranger with whom I'm on bad terms. Specifically, this is a mediation meeting with someone who I had to take to court. So this is a meeting to see if we can avoid going to court. And this person has been outrageous, behaved outrageously, cost me so much money, so much stress, and so forth. And then on the other hand, one wishes to have, it seems correct and necessary to keep a calm demeanour at a meeting like this, notwithstanding that one has so much resentment, perhaps anger, perhaps fear, perhaps all of these things, and then one wants not to be afraid. One is ashamed of being afraid. One is ashamed of being. Some people may be ashamed of being angry. I wasn't. I am generally not. But I am concerned about whether I can. I'm sure I can control it, but how to channel it in such a way as that I don't sulk, or I don't be a bit too forthright in expressing it. Anyway, so the technique in question in the first part of the meeting is called, in Zen, they use the Chinese characters, which in contemporary Chinese are Ping Chang Xin, and the literal meaning, well, there are different translations in Zen books of the meaning of this phrase, but it's often translated as meaning the everyday mind, your everyday mind, or Ping Chang in Chinese means usual, your usual mind, your ordinary mind. So the overall meaning of the phrases, of the term, is that stressful events are usually out of ordinary for us, and they arouse feelings that are out of ordinary for us, and they feel like a kind of a crisis. So the idea is that we try to find a way to approach out of ordinary events like this in a way which is with the same frame of mind as we go for a walk or have a cup of tea or something like this. And I suppose it's a similar idea to the English phrase, if somebody says, "How was your meeting?" and you say, oh, it was a walk in the park. It wasn't literally a walk in the park, it was a meeting. But it means that it was as easy as a walk in the park. The problem of how to arrive at the point of dealing with stressful, unusual, crisis-type events as if they were a walk in the park is a different problem. And I may address that in a separate, on a subsequent occasion.